The next group of vertebrates under vertebrate is that the mammals. So mammals are not notably diverse in its number of species, in terms of the number of species, but the range of body size is very incredible. For instance, the kitty hawk-nosed bat weighed about 1.5 gram, whereas the whales, which also mammals, at about 100 tons in weight. So there are few traits that can be seen in mammals. The first one is that mammals possess the breast. So therefore, mammalians have milk secreting glands that will secrete a nutritive fluid that called as a milk to nourish the young. And also, the brain capacity of mammals is increased, and thus allowing more capacity for the memory, learning, and conscious thought. So they exhibit behavioral complexity and they learn to repeat behavior of their parents in order to survive. Mammals also become distinctive due to the brain expansion because they care for the young for an extended period compared to the reptiles and also the amphibians and also the bird. And also mammals, some of them possess hair that cover the least parts of their body. Whales are an exception. However, whales have some whiskers, which are modified hair for the sensory function. And for other mammals, hair acts as an insulative layer to conserve the heat. And then the teeth of the tooth, which refer to the dentitions of the mammal, is very extensive and specialized to meet their dietary habit. So the teeth are divided into incisor. Okay, this one is known as an incisor, the canine, the molar at the back, and the premolar here. Okay, that have their own respective functions. Therefore, instead of swallowing a prey whole, so the mammal will cut first, grind and chew the food before swallowing by using the teeth. So in mammals, okay, they do not lay eggs, but the embryo have the amniotic sac and other extra embryonic membranes, okay, that and this can be only found in the mammalian trait. So there are three mammalian lineage that exist, which are the first ones is the monotremes. Monotremes is the simpler um, group of mammals. Next, we have a marsupial that refer to the pouch mammal, and last but not least is eutherian that refer to the placental mammals. So let's look further on each one of the lineage of the mammals that exist today. First one is monotreme, egg-laying mammals. So monotreme, such as the platypus and spiny anteater, this one is platypus and spiny anteater, which survive today in Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea are examples of monotremes. So they differ from other mammals because they lay egg, but they suckle the young, and the lack of nipples. The lack of nipple for the breast, therefore the young just lap up the milk at the mother ventral surface. And the spiny anteater, okay, still under the monotreme, is toothless. They do not have teeth, so the young spiny anteater will hatch a pink and unfinished as embryonic stage that are very too helpless. The young spiny anteater are very helpless to fend for themselves. So therefore, they will be kept in the mother temporary skin pouch formed by muscle contraction to finish their environment at their development. and they possess a snail-like tongue where it is used to lick up the insect as it eats. That's why it is called as the anteater. For platypus, meanwhile, for platypus has a dark, like fleshy bill here, and it's broad, flat, and also they have a fiery tails. Okay, fairy tales is the fairy tales here that resemble a beaver. So their tails help them to swim, and they are practically toothless too. Same with the anteater, and they have very low metabolic rate, thus do not lead an active lifestyle. Next group of mammal is marsupials that refer to the poached mammals, and marsupials only can be found in Australia. They give live birth, but they do not have long gestation time like human, like us, placental mammals. So instead, they give birth very early, and the young marsupial, usually blind, helpless, and hairless embryo, where they will climb from the mother birth canal to the nipple, as you can see here. Then, so here, the young marsupial, they will suckle and finish their development in their mother permanent pouch. Okay. And examples of marsupials is Tasmanian devil. Okay, Tasmanian devil known as a devil because it snarls as a treat display even though they only feed on the carcass. So carcasses of sheep and cattle provide food in farming areas. And Tasmanian devils maintain bush and farm in a hygiene condition by cleaning up the carcasses of the sheep and also the cattle. For example of marsupials are kangaroos, and kangaroos have long been regarded as a very strange animals. Why? Because they have a head that look like a deer without the antler, and they can stood upright like the human, and they hop like a frogs, and they carrying the baby inside their pouch, uh, is very convenient for the female who travel many miles for fresh foods and also water. The youngster stand a greater chance of survival because they do not have to keep up with her, and because they is tucked away from they have to keep up with their mother, and they tuck away from the predator. Okay, so the most complex mammalian group is eutherian, that refer to the placental mammal. So placental mammals are found in virtually every aquatic and terrestrial environment. The young are nourished within the mother uterus by the placenta, okay, which is composite of maternal and fetal tissue. This one is known as placenta. Okay, so it is the organ of exchange of the nutrient and waste between the maternal blood and also the fetal blood. This one. Okay, so the thing that the mother will be eat also by the babies. Okay, so the advantage is that this embryo inside the mama body will grow faster in the womb compared to the marsupial, in which their embryo development inside their pouch. And for placental mammal, their offspring are fully formed during the birth. Okay, so placenta mammal also consists of a vast number of species such as the cats and cows, humans. Okay, examples of the human is belongs to the group of primates of placental mammals. Okay, so let's look on the primates. Okay, placental mammal. So under the group of primates, we have order that includes lemur, tarsier, monkey, apes, and also human. Okay, but before we discuss more details about all of this order, we have to know first about the evolution that occur in primates. So there are five evolutions that occur in primate, which are they enhance the daytime vision, the upright walking, they have a power grip and precision grip, and they have tooth for all occasion, and also their brain behavior and the culture is different from other placental mammals. So first, primate evolution enhance daytime vision. So early primates, they have the eye on each side of the head that looks like the bird. Okay, so later, ones had forward directed eyes, resulting a better depth perception and increased ability to discern shape, movement, color, and also the light intensity. So this is referred as the stereoscopic or three-dimensional vision. Okay, so in addition, they also possess a very sharp hearing. Okay. Next is upright walking. So bipedalism, okay, is possible because of the skeleton reorganization in primate ancestral to human. So a monkey skeleton is suitable for life of climbing, leaping and running along the tree branches with their four legs, not two legs like a human. And gorilla, they walk on the two leg here and on knuckles of its two long arms. Okay. Meanwhile, for human have shorter and S-shaped vertebral column and also very flexible vertebral column or known as a backbone. Therefore, by the bipedalism, which refer to the two legs, allow human to walk and run about on two legs. Okay. Next is power grip, which is referred to this one, and the flexible grip and the precision grip. Sorry. So primates have uh, highly flexible grip. Okay, so the prehensile movement will allow the finger to wrap around the object. This one, they wrap around the object in a grasp of in a power grip. So this opposable, meanwhile, the opposable thumb and also the finger here will allow more refined use of the hand in a precision grip that enable primate to grasp object like a tree branches with precision. So the power and precision grip movement of the human allow us for the tool making, which later lead to the very unique technologies and also cultural development in our life. Next is primates. They have teeth that um, are responsible for all occasions. So, such as a monkey, monkey have rectangular jaws and a very long canine, and human have a bow-shaped jaw and smaller teeth compared to monkey, reflecting the changes in diet from eating fruits and also leaf to a mixed diet. And also, um, the most important parts in primate evolution is referred to the brain, behavior, and also the culture. Primates are social and intelligent elements that reach sexual maturity later in life, thus allowing longer lifespan. Okay, so the brain expansion and elaboration produce a brain of increased mass and complexity, especially for the thought, we can think, the language, okay, we can talk to each other, and also the conscious movement. Okay, movement meaning to say we know which one is good for us or which one is bad for us when we move our body. So human brain development leads to patterns of human behavior known collectively as culture, and this especially leads to the enrichment in learning and also symbolic behavior, especially the languages. So now let's look on the examples or the suborders in the primates, which is the primates can be divided into three suborder. The first one is suborder Prosimi. Suborder Prosimi include the lemur, and then suborder Tarsiforms, which include Tarsia, and suborder of Arthropods which includes the monkey, apes, and also human. So Prosimian or the lemur are small tree dweller that use small tree dweller that you are known as arboreal that use their large eyes to advantage during the night hunting. And most of the them are restricted to the island of Madagascar, and they retain several early mammalian features such as elongated here and also pointed face. Next, next suborder is suborder Tarsiform, or known as Stasia. So Tarsier are small primates with feature intermediate between prosimian and also anthropoids. Anthropoid is referred to the apes, monkey, and human. Okay, so Tarsier are found in rainforests of Indonesia and also Philippines. So they are nocturnal primates, meaning to say they're very active at night, and they resemble arthropods in number of ways, including they have shortened snouts and also forward-pointing eyes. So cute, right? And next suborder under primate order is anthropoids. So suborder anthropoids include monkey, apes, and human, and the evidence indicate that anthropoids originated in Africa and also Asia. So there are two main group of monkey which are known as the old world monkey and new world monkey. They were placed old and new world monkey. They were placed or be divided based on the place that they were diversified. So the old world monkey usually occupy a wide variety environment in the south and also the East Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and even the Gibraltar at the southern tip of the Spain here. Okay, so all world monkey species inhabit tropical forests while others live in arid grassland and even mountainous area with heavy winter snow. So most of the old world monkey are arboreal, meaning to say they are small tree dweller. Although some species like baboons here, are ground dwelling, which is they walk on the four legs here. So none of them have a prehensile tails. Prehensile tails is referred to the tails that capable on to wrap around the branches and act as a fifth limb. And also their nostril, as you can see over here, their nostrils are very close together and directed downward. Okay. And next is the New World monkey. So New World monkey is limited to tropical forest environment of southern Mexico, Central and South America. So all of these monkey are predominantly arboreal, meaning to say they are small tree dweller, and most of them are heavy bearers, meaning to say they only eat plants. So they eat leaves, fruit, nuts, gums, and some small prey such as insects. So the New World monkey are a small tree dweller with long and slender limbs that permit easy movement on tree, and a few have prehensile tails. Okay, the tails that can wrap at the branches, and they have a shorter thumbs that cause them to have lack precision grip. They have a good power grip but not precision grip, and they have a flatter nose, as you can see here, with the nostril opening at the side. So the nostril open at the side, okay, compared to the old world monkey, and they live in group and perform complex social behavior. So all world monkey share a common ancestor with hominids, which is hominid is referred to the group of the apes and also human. Okay, so there are five genera in the groups of apes and also human that live today, which is gibbons, orangutan, gorillas, chimpanzee, and also human. So gibbons and orangutan are tree dweller, whereas the chimpanzee and gorillas are adapted to life on ground. They retain the long arm typical branches that useful for tree dweller and use it for knuckle walking. And they are able to fold their digits, okay, when they are moving from one place to another place. So DNA sequence analysis indicates that chimpanzees are likely to be the nearest human relative. Okay, and let's look on the evolution that occurred in the hominin. So early hominin adopted a bipedal, meaning to say they have a two foot for moving, and compared to the ape skeleton, hominid skeletons, such as human, had a few modifications that allow the upright walking and also bipedalism. So, um, the first evolution that occurred in hominid is that the curvature of the human spine, because we have S-shaped spine that very flexible and also provide better balance and weight distribution for bipedal locomotion. Next is that human pelvis is shorter and broader that allow attachment of muscle for the upright walking, and also the foramen of foramen magnum of the ape is located at the back near the rear of the skull, whereas the human foramen magnum is located at the center of the skull base. Okay, and also for the ape skull, okay, under the hominin, have a prominent bony ridges here above the eye socket. Meanwhile, for human, they do not have these prominent body ridges. Okay, and also the arrangement of the teeth in the ape jaw is rectangular here, as you can see, rectangular in shape. Meanwhile, for human, we have a U-shaped jaw. Okay, and also the ape dentition is also different because they have a larger canines here compared to human. We have a small canines, and the incisor and their incisor and also a larger back teeth compared to us. However, human, they have larger brains compared to apes. Therefore, we think more complex compared to the apes. So, the hominid revolution, the first non-hominid are designated as the Australopiths, which is the southern apes here, which are human-like because of the waistline and below, okay, from here to here, and also the ape-like from the waistline to the above. Okay, so they are also possess a smaller brain relative to modern human, and they are known the Australopiths, known as the southern ape, because they evolved in Central, Eastern, and also Southern Africa. The bipedal stature here is the key evidence which distinguish the group from previous primates who are quadrupeds. And the first Australopiths is unearthed in Africa by Raymond Dutt in 1920s, in which these hominid Australopiths are believed to have walked upright. Okay, however, the proportions of limb are ape-like, as you can see here. The forelimb are longer compared to the hand limb. Okay, meaning to say the hands are longer compared to the feet, and they are not named as the Lopithecus africanus because they found in Africa. And in 1974, a team led by Donald Johnson unearthed a fossil about 250 of hominid called as the Australopithecus afarensis. Okay, this one is Africanus. Okay, next is afarensis. So, Australopithecus afarensis also walk erect, same with the Africanus, due to the shape and the pelvic of the bone. And one of the famous afarensis discovered was known as Lucy, and Lucy was young, erect walking hominid that lived about 3.5 million years ago. So Lucy weighed about 35 kg, and her arms were longer relative to the body size of our own. And her head was the size of the softball, okay, and her brain was the same size as a chimpanzee. And also bipedalism was the evidence when scientists discovered Lucy and other male companion foot trim in layer of the volcanic ash. Okay, so among of the australopiths, we already learned about the afarensis and also africanus. Next is the Australopithecus anamensis, and also some of the australopith that more robust are Bose and also Robustus. So for Bose and Robustus, they have more powerful upper body and larger smaller compared to Africanus, Afarensis, and also Anamensis. So the relationship of this species is uncertain. However, all of them share several same characteristics in which that they improve the dentition for grinding harder foods, upright walking, bipedalism, which leaving evidence of their footprints, and also increase manual dexterity. Okay, so hominid can be characterized as a genus as a Homo species based on three characterizations, in which the first one is that the brain size should be 600 cc or greater than that. The jaw and teeth must resemble those in human, and also the usage of tool as the evidence. So let's look on the five group of Homo. Group of Homo, in which the first one we're gonna learn about the Homo habilis. Next is Homo ergaster, Homo erectus, Homo sapien, and Homo neanderthalensis. So for the first one, Homo habilis. Okay, Homo habilis is the earliest human that signifying as the handyman, because they associated with the first stone tools. Okay, they was being discovered in 1960s at Aldovey George in Tanzania. So since then, it was also being discovered in the East and also South Africa. They have a brain size larger than 600 cc, which are about 775 cc, and the cheek teeth, okay, cheek teeth are smaller, suggesting that they are omnivore who eat meat besides of the plant material. And also the bones of Homo habilis, that found on the campsite show a cut marks. So a cut marks on their bone, indicating that they used tools to strip them of meat. So therefore, the hominid began to use stone tools about 2.5 million years ago to get marrow bones, to get the bone marrow out of the bone and to scrape the flesh from the bones. So Homo habilis had portions of the brain area associated with speech that is being enlarged. So this indicating that they speak to each other, and this suggests the origins of the language in human species. Next is Homo ergaster. Um, Homo ergaster is the early member of Homo erectus, in which their brain is larger compared to Homo habilis, which is about 900 cc, and they live in arid region found with advanced stone tools. Next is Homo erectus. Homo erectus have larger brain compared to habilis and also ergaster, in which with the brain size about 1000 cc, and also they have a longer face, flatter, and a thick wall skull. Okay, but narrow nipple. The narrow narrow hip and long leg. Okay, and the males were about 6 feet tall. Meanwhile, the females approached about 5 feet tall, and the narrow hip suggested the infant were born in an immature state and require extended period of care. So Homo erectus also believed as the first one that appeared in Africa and migrated out of Africa, going to the Europe and also the Asia. And Homo erectus made advanced stone tools and used fire as they migrated out of Africa into Asia and also Europe. Some believe that they were systematic hunters. Next is Homo neanderthalensis. So Neanderthals, the first covered a Neander Valley in Germany. That's why they're known as the Neanderthals. Were similar to modern human. However, they already disappeared about 35,000 years ago, and they had lower sloping forehead, as you can see here. Okay, and with the nose, jaw, and teeth that protruding forward. Okay, far forward. They had massive brow ridges too, and their brain was slightly larger than ours. So last but not least is Homo sapien, which is us, a human. Um, Homo sapien, compared to other Homo, had some smaller teeth, chin, a thinner facial bone, larger brain, and rounder and higher skull. So, for Homo sapien, they will have Homo sapien heavily muscle. Therefore, due to the extra muscle, they might need larger brain to control it. So they also show the evidence of being culturally advanced from the other Homo, such as Neanderthal, and live in open and cave, buried dead with flower, and might have a religion. So Cro-Magnon are the oldest fossil designated as the Homo sapien. Some researchers believe that they were responsible for extinction of many larger animals because they hunt the larger animal for food. They were also believed to be the first one that having a proper language, and they live in a small group and play a role in searching food and looking after offspring according to gender. Their culture include the art, beautiful drawing, engraving the cave whales, and also small sculpt figurines. From about 40,000 years ago until today, human evolution has been cultural but not to the biological. Our biological is still the same. So this one is referred to the lineage of the hominin evolution. So I think that's all for today, class. Thank you.